You're listening to WGBB, Long Island's oldest radio station. I'm Brad Nellis.
I'm Ben Schwartz. What's going on?
And this is Nonsense News with a Nation, your news with a comedic twist. Coming up in just a few minutes.
You won't believe what this pedophile used to seduce his dates.
What the fox is going on in the parliament?
Grab your lasso, grab your gun, because we're taking you to Texas.
Yo. A 40-year-old man chugs beer in a public library. And is that porn on his screen?
Oh my god. We talk about one sport that doesn't require arms or legs, but rather your head.
And we give our early thoughts on a certain Sonic the Hedgehog movie. All this and much more coming up on Nonsense News Nation. Your news with a comedic twist on WGBB. Yeah. All right, so don't be confused by the happy music. It's a sad show because
very sad.
Our regular co-host Scott Honickman, he's at work today.
He's dead.
But to supplement that, we got a very special guest, someone who I've known for years, a buddy of mine. His name is Justin Ratclaw, and I'm confused with Ravenclaw from Harry Potter. Justin, how are you doing?
I'm doing good today. How are you?
I'm doing great. I want to tell you a little story about Justin. So I met him when he was a freshman back in college. We went to SUNY Westbury together. We worked on the college radio station, and he had to write the scripts. So he was pretty nervous going on to the show, wondering if he had to actually write scripts. But I took the plunge. I did it for everyone. I think no one had to write. No one has any finger cramps except me. So we're going to go on to our very first segment of the show. We call that National News. We're going to go around the country and see what bizarre stuff we can find.
Yes, we are.
To do it.
So let's take ourselves not to New York, so it's going to be a little foreign for us. We need to get a passport or something.
New York's the only place.
So, you know, guys, the month of love is upon us.
Love this day. Love this holiday.
So to celebrate, I got the perfect love story right here. It involves star-crossed lovers. One is a pedophile from Ohio. Yeah, it's the P word right there. And the other is an undercover cop.
Oh my God.
Spoilers, he doesn't know that yet.
Is it Chris Hansen?
It's a Chris Hansen. Are you saying Chris Hansen's a pedophile?
No, I'm saying the undercover cop.
Could you imagine if they reversed the roles and he's actually an undercover pedophile?
The reverse Uno
working for the pedophile Reddit. And he's
Maybe.
been undercover as like someone who isn't a pedophile. That'd be crazy.
I'd believe that.
Anyway, well, I'm sure this story doesn't end with their honeymoon. A cop and a pedophile.
Uh-oh.
So, the 23-year-old lovebird planned to meet a 15-year-old boy who may or may not be an undercover cop. And he brought with him a very romantic gift, and we'll explain that in just a bit. So when the officer arrived at the scene, they saw that he brought Sprite, chicken Alfredo, and lubricant as a way to seduce his date. What do you think about that, guys?
Well, how are you going to eat the fettuccine Alfredo with lubricant?
Well, you can close your eyes and imagine it's mayo.
But there's no drink more romantic than Sprite. It literally
Exactly.
bubbles. It's like all fizzly.
Sponsored
And if it was Diet Sprite, it would be so sweet because he's concerned about his date's
What
weight.
about a Sprite cranberry?
A Sprite
That gives it like a little
cranberry.
zest.
Sprite cranberry
Because
would
it's
have been a
some
lot
seasoning.
better.
I'd
gives
save
it
that
some
for
seasoning.
Valentine's Day.
For Valentine's Day?
I'd save that for the bedroom.
That's the big guns.
Cranberry Sprite. That is.
Ooh.
I'm getting a little hot here.
Jeez.
I don't know about you.
Turn on
Could he
the
not
AC.
afford red wine?
Red wine, that's like the bottom. Sprite cranberries on top.
Unfortunately for the 23-year-old guys, the officer was probably vegan and refused to eat the chicken delight.
Good for him.
Good for him, yeah, watching his weight. The pedophile is now under 120 days house arrest and has been registered as a top-tier #1 sex offender.
Like Fox.
Wait, what?
Like Fox from Super Smash Brothers Melee.
No,
Top
this
tier.
is very different.
Oh, different.
You shouldn't be happy if you're on this top tier.
Oh, okay. So it's a bottom top.
Yeah, best of the worst.
Best of the worst. kind of.
If that's like a way to describe it. So, I mean, I don't know what's worse. The fact that a pedophile almost lured a little child,
That's horrible.
or the fact
That
that
is awful.
that chicken Alfredo probably went to waste.
What's worst? Pedophilia or wasting food?
I don't know. What would the Africans say about that? They'd much rather have the chicken Alfredo. What are your thoughts on the story? Or on chicken Alfredo? I'll bring it up to that. Do you think it's romantic?
I don't like chicken Alfredo. I don't like it.
So if you,
There's
if
a lot more
you're-
romantic
if you-
foods in the world.
If you're,
Like Sprite
but you're
cranberry.
cool. You're cool with the Sprite. What about you, Ben?
See, for me, I don't like wasting food, and also I've seen too many To Catch a Predators, and I always know if the pedophile's serious, they bring some kind of food. Now, this is probably the most extravagant of all the pedophiles I've heard about, so maybe this guy was really serious. Maybe it was about a romantic date with the child, but still.
Ugh, I can't even.
Yeah, no.
Oof.
No,
There was a
siree.
time to go deaf. Now would be the time.
Yeah.
I want to unhear that.
You know what, Brandon? Let's go to another state.
How about another story?
Yeah.
So let's do that. We're gonna actually go to our next segment, international, where we're gonna go around the globe here and
Everybody
see,
grab your
and let's
passports.
just hope there's no more pedophiles.
Grab
Yes
your
to chicken
luggage.
Alfredo, no to pedophiles. That's what it's a takeaway from the show.
Yes to Sprite cranberry.
Heck yeah, to Sprite Cranberry. All right, so we got some news that's worthy of actually being on Fox News. For the simple fact that it's about an actual fox. What's a fox's natural habitat, guys?
The forest.
The forest?
The
What do you
woods,
think?
forest with
Forest.
trees. Yeah.
I mean, potato, forest,
it's the
wood.
same thing.
Get original, man. Is it the Wilds, a mediocre Sonic the Hedgehog game?
Tails.
Definitely, yeah, definitely not Parliament, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, wait, what?
Well, apparently so, from the story. One foxy fox was seen strolling up the staircase, moving to Portcullis House in Parliament. So one member of Parliament had this to say on Twitter, quote, "Just leaving a Westminster office for the night and see a fox climbing escalator into Portcullis House. We have seen some strange things in Parliament since 2017, but this tops it. If you're going to ask me what they saw in 2017, I don't know.
Maybe it was a bear.
Maybe it was a bear."
I think that the fox is replacing Harry and Meghan. Maybe he's becoming the next Windsor.
I don't know anything.
I apologize, guys, for the lack of a British accent when doing this story right now. I'm recovering from a cold. But anyway, I digress. Another member of Parliament signaled that it was 2 flights up the stairs, up Parliament actually, and gave hashtag Fox on the Run. Now, guys, if there was ever a good time to play Fox on the Run by The Sweet, now would be the time. In fact, let's actually play the
Wasn't
song
that
right
in
here.
Guardians of the
It
Galaxy?
actually was, but instead of a rocket raccoon running around, it's a fox. Not played by Bradley Cooper. All right, song over. Copyright would get us.
Aw.
All right, back to the story. Police came in with large gloves. I wrote clues on my script and caught this star fox who already made its way up the 4th floor.
Wow.
I don't think
That's one smart
I don't think
fox.
the Queen, the British Queen, made it up the 4th floor.
She rode the fox.
Maybe she has to ride the fox, get a wheelchair or something. The fox was later let out into the wild, the woods, the forest, as you guys guessed before. Good guess, by the way. I applaud you. I truly do. Narrowly missing a storm of oncoming traffic. The fox is about to die.
Oh,
His fate was
no.
probably better with Parliament. I guess the phrase "sly as a fox" has a whole new meaning now.
It does.
That was fun and all, but I want to get to the actual juicy stuff of Nonsense News
Let's get into
Nation.
the meat
Do
and
it.
potatoes of
I
this.
want. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Since you said let's do it so
Let's go.
I
Let's
gotta
go.
do it now. We're gonna go into our next segment: fails and foolishness. And why do we do that, Ben? Why is it called fails and foolishness?
Because we're Nonsense News Nation. We're all about the nonsense.
And we're talking about the greatest fails we could find. And
We're the nation.
I got a good one for you. I do. So there's nothing like a good fail to start your weekend, right? And
Yeah.
boys, do I have a good one for you. We're leaving the polluted muck state that is New York and are packing our bags for Wichita Falls, Texas.
Yeehaw.
When you think of Texas, a couple of words may come to mind. What do you guys think of?
Barbecue.
Barbecue?
Like I just said, yeehaw.
Yeehaw, cowboy, apple pie, blue jeans, America, incest, get off my lawn or I'll blast you with my shotgun.
Houston.
Or this clip we have right here from SpongeBob that became a meme.
I'm Texas. Howdy, y'all.
I'm Texas too.
Howdy, y'all.
Get a dog, little Arnie.
Hey, Patrick, what am I now?
Stupid?
No, I'm Texas.
What's the difference?
Yeah, so unfortunately, through the media, Texas has just become one big meme.
I'm
But
sorry,
we may
Texas. We still
may
love you.
actually change that with this story right here. I'm going to give a new set of words for Texas. Epic fail. This is a good one, guys. So our latest fail started when a driver neglected to use their turn signal when turning. I mean, it happens. But, I mean, Justin, I don't know the laws around where you live in Queens. I don't know the laws. Maybe it's cool to do that. Maybe the cool kids do it. But when you fail to use a turn signal in Texas, that's what they call the electric saddle back in Texas state. So the police swooped in and got ready to attack their prey when they noticed something fly out of the car window. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a plastic baggie with some green leafy stuff inside.
Uh-oh.
What could it be? I wonder what could that be.
Asparagus.
Yeah,
Broccoli.
maybe it's her.
Oregano.
She left the Olive Garden and she took one of the free salads.
You got to go
Maybe.
to Olive Garden and bring stuff
Unlimited
back.
salad. You just probably put it in the
Maybe
takeout
it's the
bag.
YouTuber Leafy is Here,
Oh, no.
who is suffocating in a plastic
It's a
bag.
smart investment. Go to Olive Garden.
Maybe
bring
it's the
something back.
driver's lucky 4-leaf clover that she always brings with her.
St. Patrick's Day is like what in a month?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
ready. No, it's weed.
Oh, no.
It's weed. I'm sorry.
You sure about that?
Yeah. So when the cops asked the driver what her name was, simple question, she didn't have a name tag on. It's the right thing to ask as a cop. Instead of saying Sharika Strawn, her real name, the correct answer, she instead lied and claimed her name was Porshala Strawn. Porshala. It seems like a random name, but unlucky for her, Porshala Strawn is actually a real person with a criminal record the size of a freaking supernova.
Would you like to explain this criminal record, Brandon?
I don't know it from heart here, but I just know that a certain Porshala Strawn has done a lot of bad things and has a very hefty warrant on her.
Oh, my
Warrant
lord.
for her arrest. And she gave out that name, not knowing.
That was very unlucky.
It should have been a 4-leaf clover instead of the weed in that plastic bag. It would have helped out.
She needed that luck.
Exactly. So finally, when Strawn was being sent to the slammer, she gave up the act and told her real name. On a positive side of things, she'll have plenty of time to think of a better name in jail. Or maybe get a salad from the Olive Garden. Could you
Get a
request that in
salad.
prison? They're improving prison food.
Little by little.
Maybe the Olive Garden's going to sponsor.
They'll get some name
Jail.
brand chips.
Yeah.
Olive Garden could sell their breadsticks.
Yeah.
They should do that.
I
just
feel
independently.
like prison inmates, when they're in the shower, they may use breadsticks for other things. I'll leave it at that. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
And you know what? I'm on a roll today. We got a good fail. I'm going to give you another one because I am a failure. I'm going to give more fails. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So this next fail, we're leaving the Texas Roadhouse and making our way to Cleveland, Ohio. You know, every time we have a story in Cleveland, we got to play this song right here.
My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown with my new family. This is the Cleveland Show.
I love that song.
I had to do it. I don't know. I know Cleveland. The character Cleveland doesn't even go to Cleveland, Ohio, right?
I think it's in Virginia.
School Bend, Virginia.
Well, so we
Yeah,
got
no, I'm
we
a
got a
big
big
Family Guy
Cleveland.
We got
Brown
a Cleveland
fan.
Show fan over here.
What do you think about the cancellation of the Cleveland Show? Does it grind your gears?
I don't know why they made one about Cleveland and not. Probably, if they had to do a spinoff with any character,
Quagmire.
it probably would have been Quagmire.
Or maybe Joe.
I think
Maybe Joe. Like in his
a
years as a
Quagmire
cop.
thing would be in like an HBO thing, and
Oh, yeah.
the
That'd
stuff
be
that
like
he does
Games
is
of
kind of
Thrones.
inappropriate. But
They
Game-
cartoonized it for Family Guy. They could probably do
still
it again.
though, if it's a Quagmire show, we'll kind of see what happens inside
Or
his bedroom.
Netflix special.
Or Netflix special, yeah. But since you're such a big Cleveland Show fan, can you give me your best Cleveland Brown impression?
Peter.
Ben, you're...
Oh, Peter.
That's Lois.
No.
Peter!
That's oh, Peter.
No. It's mine. That's nasty.
Brian.
All right, on with
All
the
right,
story.
this could be a Family Guy
Podcast.
Comic-Con here, or we could get on to the actual show here. I'd prefer the latter, but we can always talk about Cleveland another time.
Of course.
So in the land of Cleveland, we have an incident at a local library. Libraries, for the most part, most Americans know it's a place for books, free Wi-Fi, and silence. Shh. Be very, very quiet. There are books here. I'm hunting for books.
I'll whisper from now on.
Yeah, all right. So libraries, it's usually for that. So it may come as a surprise to hear someone blasting the latest stepsister porn by the magic treehouse aisle. A 40-year-old man was caught watching the devil's pornography a few days ago in the wee hour of 7 p.m. Probably thought the kids were, it was past their bedtime, they weren't going to be around, but...
Should have waited.
Definitely had a magic treehouse of his own, if you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Brandon, are we at a library now?
Well, since there's porn blasting, it doesn't matter, they can't hear us.
Oh, okay.
So I would say he was caught red-handed, but his hands were probably down in his pants.
More
to
like
be honest.
left-handed.
Left-handed, yeah. The fun didn't stop there, kiddos. The guy was actually chugging a Budweiser beer. It's another no-no, another vice. If that wasn't enough, he had loads of unopened beer cans in his bag.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah, it should have been a White Claw. There's no laws when you drink them, so you're pretty much immune
No
to
laws with the
everything.
claw.
There's no laws with White Claws, so you're pretty much immune to anything
Really?
and
That's
any law
interesting.
around you.
Wow.
That's what he should have been doing if he was
You know what
smart.
you should do? You should upload a video on Pornhub explaining that, and he'll accidentally click on that, know it, and maybe next time he'll be a little smarter.
There'll be no
Instead
laws.
of being worthy of being on this goofy show. So, the man was getting a little close for comfort. When confronted by the police, the man gave the identity of his brother. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to pause the show to give the award for Worst Brother of the Year. I think he earned that.
Can we all get a round of
Yeah.
applause?
For worst Brother of the Year, it's that 40-year-old porn-watching, beard-guzzling dude. What a guy. What a terrible guy. Hate to be his brother. I'm a triplet, so I could have had... There could have been a possibility where I
Justin
could have got
thrown you under the bus.
my brother Justin, not to be confused with Justin Ratclaw or Ravenclaw if you're a Harry Potter fan. So yeah, this award, it's like the Razzies, but for bad siblings. Anyway, the cop recognized the 40-year-old beer guzzler and threatened to charge him with providing false information that wasn't true. Giving up the ruse, he was charged with having an open container in a public place, a minor misdemeanor, and probably for scarring little Johnny by the comic book aisle, who didn't realize that his stepmother could bend in so many ways.
Uh-oh.
That's not good.
That's not good. Unless you're the cameraman filming it, then you may enjoy it. I don't know. To each his own. So he's been officially banned for 60 days from the library. A whopping 60 days.
Should have been 62.
Should have been 69.
No, that would have encouraged it.
You got to put some irony in the world, though. What's life without a little
That'd be torture for
poetic justice?
He has the thought of 69 looming over his head, but he can't do what he loves most. Watching porn at a public library and drinking beer.
It's a Shakespearean tragedy.
It is. It's the new Hamlet. With nowhere to watch his precious porn, it looks like No Nut November has come early for this drunk gentleman. So we'll leave it there, and it's time we step away from fails. I know you like sports, Justin. Am I correct?
I do.
Ben, you like sports, right? You like at least you like Wii Sports or
I like
Mario Tennis or
StarCraft.
something. That's close enough.
Close enough. It's a
Sometimes
real sport in
you
South
sweat.
Korea.
You sweat playing it like sports.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Good
My
enough. Good
hands
enough.
hurt.
So yeah, we're gonna go to our next segment, Spastic Sports, where we get a little spazzy and talk about the unusual side of sports. So Justin, what's your favorite sport?
Football.
Football, really? That's cool and all, but personally, I'm more of a fan of a Chinese sport about climbing the stairs using only your head.
What?
Did you just say
Personally-
only using your head?
Only using your head,
impossible.
not your noggin, your physical like scalp jumping about the place.
So you can't use your legs, can't use your arms.
That's why they tell
The
us to
best you could
read
do is
to
chop
make your
them
mind
off.
stronger.
Exactly. They wanted you to.
For this
It's an
moment.
amputee's favorite
Yeah,
sport.
you know, a lot of people, meditation gurus, will say you got to use your mind. They got to use your head. They're talking about this sport. It's very competitive in the monasteries. So, being that it is my favorite sport, aside from fecal throwing, it's the top two there, I was blown away to discover that a Chinese acrobat broke the Guinness World Record of most stairs climbed using your head. It's a real thing, guys. Using his brain, or rather, his head, the man managed to hop up 36 steps, beating his previous record of 34. The rules are simple, people. You go up the stairs, don't use anything but your head, And try not to kill yourself in the process. I don't think people encourage that enough. But guys, if you're doing this,
If you die, you lose.
resist the urge to get a concussion or something.
That guy's like the Joey Chestnut of the stair climbing contest. Just keeps breaking his own records.
He's gonna pop like a chestnut if he's not careful, dude. So there's a video footage, and it is absolutely insane. I mean, it's in Chinese, so I'm not gonna play it. Just wouldn't understand it. But it looks like his head is taped to a black brick, and he's lunging his entire body from step to step, landing on his head. So he's physically moving his legs and arms and his chest and even his torso a little bit like Elvis back in those 50s.
Those 50 days.
Those 50 days. But he's just landing and using his head, which is ouch.
Incredible.
But he does it for 36 steps. 36 grueling steps. It's a meticulous feat, but he got through it somehow. It may have seemed impossible, but he proved that anything is possible as long as you put your head in the game. We have someone in the studio actually playing it right now on YouTube.
That's unreal.
And you know what? Can you show it to everyone? And can one of you with the mics describe what you're looking
So
at?
he's just jumping. He's literally like the top of his head is on top of the edge of the stair, and his body is like spread wide, and he's just making like a T pose, and he's just flinging himself using his head. It's incredible.
So he's on
This
his
is
head,
unreal.
Absolutely
but he's
fantastic.
jumping on top of the air.
This
If that
is-
makes any sense.
This
This
guy
is-
is the best in the world. It's not LeBron.
If-
It's not.
You know, if Isaac Newton
not
was
Kobe,
alive,
it's not
I'd tell him to
LeBron.
question his theory on gravity
not
because
Mike
it is
Tyson.
wrong. It
Isaac Newton is
absolutely
rolling
wrong.
around in his grave.
Yeah, I
right
think this
now.
proved that.
I think he was wrong.
Yeah. Speaking of
This is on some
things that are
Japanese
wrong,
Spider-Man level stuff.
a certain Sonic movie is coming out. A lot of people aren't happy about that.
Why not?
I don't know. Because
Everybody likes Sonic.
there was a certain Super Bowl ad that came out, and we're gonna play that ad, and I thought it was pretty good. So we're gonna check it out. We're gonna see what
Yeah, play that.
the Sonic Super Bowl commercial. Let's see what that
I
was.
race the fastest in the world. He makes us all look slow.
He's just a blur out there. What's this for again?
What's this for again?
What's this for again?
What's this for again?
Great question. I have no idea. But please, McCaffrey, go on about how amazing I am. You're mine, Hedgehog!
Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura. I can't believe that. So, Ben,
Yes.
you've played a Sonic game in your time.
I have played Sonic Unleashed.
You've went on Rule 34 and seen Sonic.
Oh, no.
Tell me, what are your opinions on this movie? Your early thoughts on the Sonic movie?
So originally, when it was the original version of Sonic, where he looked like he was just a little raccoon, a blue raccoon with human teeth, I
Right.
was not on board with it. But when I saw the redesign, I was just like, okay, I'll give it a watch. I'll see what's going on. I'll watch it Valentine's Day. I'm not really doing anything that day. And hopefully it lives up to me. Hopefully Jim Carrey makes me laugh. Hopefully Sonic makes me laugh. Hopefully Sonic says, yeah, like Sonic always does.
This is happening.
Yeah. He says radical.
I'm just worried about the people in the theater because there's some crazy Sonic fans. I don't know if there's going to be people in costumes pulling what that 40-year-old man pulled in the public library.
I think we'll be fine.
I would hope so.
It'll probably be worse when the Super Mario movie comes out.
They should do Super Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Sonic
At
in the Olympics, the
yeah.
movie coming
and
out.
maybe one of the
2022.
sports they could play could be
Is
jumping
the head thing?
the head thing. Yeah,
Well, we know Bowser wouldn't win.
best. Yeah.
Bowser would
So
not
Justin,
win.
what are
Maybe
your
Eggman
what are your quick opinions on the Sonic movie here?
I'm not really a huge Sonic fan. I just liked
Really?
using them in Super Mario and Sonic at the Olympics when it was like the track because it was pretty unfair.
You're not
to
a
use.
Sonic fan, then why are you in a full Sonic jumpsuit with red
You were
soap
supposed
shoes?
to tell them. You were supposed to tell them.
You know, I was wondering that too, if we were gonna address it.
Oh, and this is a
With the Shadow
interchangeable.
the Hedgehog
I can put this inside
wearing
out
a
and I turn
gun
it to
on
Knuckles.
a tattoo on your left butt cheek. How are
Bro,
you not
people
a
ain't supposed to
Sonic?
know about that one.
Now they
That
know.
was a mistake.
But you know what? My early thoughts. It was supposed to come out in November of last year, and the original trailer looked horrible. It looked like
Awful.
one of X-Men's mutants, except not worthy of being in a movie. And then they redesigned the character with a lot of people were complaining,
A lot of care.
and they put a lot of care into this movie. So this may be the first
Video
game movie that doesn't totally suck.
Yeah.
It may just be
Possibly.
eh.
May just be But with Jim Carrey, at least we'll have a good laugh.
Yeah, at least we'll have a laugh.
And
here and there.
I think that's about it.
I think that's
That is
about
I'd
all we
like
got.
to thank you, Justin, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
For
It
having the
was a lot
same
of fun.
name as my brother. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy
We also know
inside.
Jennifer. I'm her cousin.
Jen, yeah. She's a friend of mine. Ben, always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
And we got his entourage, his bodyguards that were there. You guys can shout and see if the mic picks it up.
How we doing?
They protect me with my
entourage.
life.
They're very happy to be here. I know that because they're smiling.
They're always
They had
smiling.
a good time. He's the one that played the
Catching
video.
flies with their mouths.
Exactly. All right, so we'll be back next month. When you ask, you could find us on social media, and we'll give you that information. You could contact us at nonsensenewsradio@gmail.com. That's nonsensenewsradio@gmail.com. We're going to continue a podcast on Spotify,